मॉर्निंग गाइस। आज हम लोग पढ़ेंगे इंडिविजुअल डिफरेंसेस. व्हाट आर इंडिविजुअल डिफरेंसेस इन द child development pedagogy? Means individual differences, how one child differ from the other child. Okay, so there are different factors for the individual differences. Individual difference, for example, one person is very intelligent, another person is not so intelligent, so this is the individual difference. Okay, so there are different kinds of individual differences. For example, biological individual differences, mental individual differences, emotional individual differences, or cultural individual differences. Okay, so biological individual differences means on the basis of biology. Okay, biology base what? On the basis of heredity. For example, one child has inherited the any for example, say any disease from his parent, for example albinism. Okay, or say early whitening of his or her hair. Okay, white hairs growth at early stage, so that is a biological individual differences. Okay, now coming on the second is mental individual differences. Mental individual difference means the level of IQ differs. Okay, here the level of IQ differs. For example, one child has IQ of 140, one child has IQ 25, is just an idiot. Okay, so mentally each and every children is different. Now coming on the emotional individual difference. Emotional individual differences means on the basis of emotion, one is very sensitive to one thing, one is very emotional person, one is not so emotional person, one is a kind of happy going person, one is a kind of not so happy going person. Okay, so these are differences of emotions. One gets angry very suddenly, one is very short tempered, but the another child is not so short tempered. Emotions. Now the next difference is cultural differences. Cultural means from the culture, different kinds of culture, from the culture from where the child has come. Okay, culture from the background. One has a very background of like he or she belongs to high caste society, and another child is from very low caste society. So the cultural differences will be there. There will be differences in their thinking, there will be different ways of living, there will be different standards of living. So that all the differences are the cultural differences. Okay, so this was all about the individual differences in the development of child. For example, now coming on the traits. Okay, so traits are basically of two types: inherited trait, acquired trait. Inherited trait means which we have inherited in our gene. For example, albinism, color blindness, etc. And acquired trait is which we have developed by ourselves only. For example, if we have learning a guitar, singing song, dancing, etc. So this was all about the traits in individual differences. So now the individual differences include factors affecting various kinds of individual differences like heredity and environment. Heredity is acquired through our parents, our generation to generation they get passed, and environment is in the atmosphere, in that our surroundings in which we live. Okay, so this is all about the factors affecting individual. Environment we get education, depending upon the education. Heredity is based on the traits which we acquire from only our parents. Education, okay, it depends of sex, includes race. Okay, environment has education also. Okay, so what is the main effect of education? How equally educated we are or how uneducated we are, that also affect. Okay, so intelligence plays also an important role. Intelligence, we can't say that is heredity, it's a combination. Intelligence is a combination of both heredity and environment combination. Okay, so this was all the factors affecting individual differences. Now educational implications of individual differences includes homogeneous grouping and heterogeneous grouping. Homogeneous means same ability groups students are grouped together, and different ability groups are grouped together. Same ability groups, same thinking, same intelligence level, same IQ, etc. Heterogeneous means different thinking, all differences are present here. Different backgrounds, yes, same backgrounds, all the same categories students are grouped together and they are taught by a teacher. That should be done by the teacher. And for heterogeneous grouping, different thinking, different IQ and different background students should be grouped together in the heterogeneous grouping. And in homogeneous, everything should be like same categorization, same category students to be put in the homogeneous grouping, and different category students to be put in the heterogeneous grouping.